Hi, this is Anne from the Useless Crafter. Okay, so today it's not technically off the mat. I just want to show you how to maximize your image when you're dealing with difficult pieces. Like for instance, on this one, the hair is going to be the biggest piece that you have here, right? And it's from this tip basically all the way down to here or even here. So what I like to do is I like to ungroup it. Did I already ungroup it? Oh, I already ungrouped it, sorry. And then what I want to do is I basically want to click on the hair. And then I'm going to go to contour. And I'm really concerned with this big piece, right? So I'm going to get rid of all of this. So what's left of my pink for now is just the hair. And the hair is 6.682. So what you can do is take this and make it big. And then click on just the hair. The hair is still 9.5. So let me reduce the screen size so we can keep going. So you can keep going like this. Actually, this is going to be off the mat because the rest of it is going to be bigger. All right, so now we've hit where it's too big. You would have to slice it. So just take all of it, reduce it a little bit, still too big. Okay, 11.835, we're almost there. 11.592. Almost. We just got to get to 11.5. Maybe that. 11.482. I'll take it. So overall, your image is going to be almost 15 inches long, but your hair is going to be seamless. So this is good for like when you want to do, I don't know, at 15 inches, it's a lot. You might want to do just like a little stand next to the food or next to the presents. And normally I wouldn't do Poppy without her body because the hair is going to be so much. If we had the body also, then all of a sudden technically, if you think about this, if we had the body, it would easily be 20 inches, if not 25, 30 inches, because look how small her head is. If her body was just her legs, her body was just as long as her hair, we could double in size, which would be 30 inches, right? All right, so this is good for this. Now, I contoured to get rid of the other items because I didn't want it to count in my measurement for the hair. So all you have to do is take your hair over here, duplicate it, and go back to contour, and it should say show all contours. There it is. And now you have all this back, okay? But here's your hair. You already wanted the hair. You can just contour this now, and we don't need the hair anymore. And you can see this. I think technically we should, separate each one of these pieces so when you cut, you can consolidate and be way more efficient. You don't have all this wasted space right here because this is all grouped together. And what I mean by that is you can go to shapes, bring in a square or whatever shape you want to bring in, or you could contour. But because the pieces are so separate or separated, I like to just slice. And you can only slice 2 items at one time. So one item is my rectangle or square, and the other one is my grouped image. So see now, I have this little piece by itself. I can continue to slice using the same square even. So you see, this square is touching this hair. Don't worry about it as long as your mouse doesn't pick it up. So see my mouse, my cursor is only over here. I'm picking up the pink image and the square, so that's 2 items. And because slice is not grayed out. Right, so here we go. We don't need the gray piece. You can just get rid of it. And here is our nose. And this little piece here, I gotta say it's kind of small. You can cut it out right now because it's easy to do. And then once it cuts on the mat, you can decide, I mean, first of all, your mat might not, your blade might not cut it. Sometimes I feel like my machine is very temperamental and I never know if something's going to make it or not. But I will send it to cut because it's tiny. It's not going to take up any space. And if it makes it, it makes it. Then I'll make it onto my thing. But see, now when you go to cut this image, you can put it so close together and you can save all that space as opposed to how it was before. Okay. All right, so this is all good, right? We know we can cut this on our machine. I mean, this is a pretty big piece of hair. It's 11.5 inches long. Okay, so we've got that. Now, let's see. Here's our face. Same thing with the face. Okay, this is what I did with mine. So see this little piece right here? It's in two pieces. I don't think that by welding these two pieces together so that my Cricut can cut it as one piece is not going to impact my image. No one but us would know that we messed with that image. So this is what I would do. I would take a circle and I unlocked it so that I can make it, like not so perfectly round, but I would do this. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to grab both items and I'm going to weld. So now this little piece is not so delicate anymore, right? So this is what I would do. I would separate out this ear, slice out this ear. And this ear is, 1 inch by 2. I mean, it's small, but it's not tiny. So here, that's fine. I would, let me see if I can get that by itself. I don't know if I can. Oh, there we go. There. Let's slice out that little piece. So now that is separate from our face. Now, this little piece, so right now it's two pieces. I'm not counting that little thing. That little thing's got to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contour and I'm just going to get rid of it. I am not cutting that piece. I'm not paying any attention to it. Okay. So now I have this. I can slice that. Now my mouse is, come on. Okay, I think that's good. Let's slice it. Yep. So here's my little piece. Okay, I can get rid of all this. All the slice results, just grab it and delete it. Okay, so here's my face. My face is 7.2 by 3.3. That's all good. This little piece, I will send it to cut, even though I'm not a fan of such small pieces. All right, now let's move this out of the way. I like that there's green and I like the blue, but what I don't like is I don't like this small little leaf right here. I also, when you're not doing like gigantic, and in this case, it's not that big. I did this one at 8 inches, so you can imagine it's almost half this size. These pieces were so small. So what I wanted to do is, let's see here. I want this green. I'm going to move it out of the way. So I've selected it over here, and then I'm using my arrow key to kind of just move it on down. Come on. There we go. All right, so now I'm left with this up here. And I'm just going to move this over a little bit. What I want to do is I want to make this all blue, and I'm going to attach it. So it's going to cut as one piece. And I'm going to do that by maybe using some circles and a square. and unlock your circle just like we did before, so we could make it so that no one would know that that's what we did. Okay, so watch this. Maybe make that a little bit bigger. I'm going to put this here. Okay, so now all my pieces are together, and I'm going to grab all this, and I'm going to, oh, you know what? Let's make a few copies of that circle or that oval. And actually, we could just continue doing this before we weld. I feel like this little piece is barely hanging on. I want to make it more sturdy. I'm going to kind of make it a little bit thicker and stable, okay? So see, I'm going to add that. And I feel like that is also a little too intricate for me or delicate. So I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. I'm going to bring, sorry, let me make this bigger too. I should have done that earlier. Okay. And I'm going to bring this little circle or oval, and I'm going to add it right around here, just so that it's not so delicate. And I notice that there's a little hole right there. I'm going to bring this up a little bit more. Like so. Okay. These three pieces, I want to attach it. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a copy of my oval, and I'm going to bring it up like this. I'm going to make it a little bit skinnier, so unlock your image and kind of size it the way you want to. And I'm going to move it like this. Now, oh, what I should have done. Hold on. Give me a second so that you can see what the difference. Okay, so I'm going to take this and this, and I'm going to duplicate it. So this is what it looks like originally, okay? And this is what it's going to look like after I mess with it. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to weld. So the difference is this. See, there's not that much of a difference, except this piece right here likely won't tear off because look how much thicker it is. Same thing with this little piece right here. It's a little bit delicate. I probably should have added something right here because I feel like that's delicate right there too. We can add it right now. It's not a big deal. But all of this, here, let me, well, she's all moved already, so you can't. I'm going to show you what it looks like when you put it back over here. So it still will fit in the outline, but now I have three pieces that I'm not worried that won't cut, okay, or that I'm going to lose some images. So that's how I would go about doing this. Let's see. Like I said, I think we need to add something right there. So you can just go to shapes, bring in a circle, and go get your circle up top because everything gets dropped in at the top left corner. Okay, let's go back over here. So unlock it and just, shrink it. And move it over, and let's just thicken it up a little bit so it's not going to get torn or lost. So I'm going to weld it, and there. Okay, now I don't like these little dots, so you can go to contour and we can get rid of those little dots. And so now it's one full cut. I'm all about saving my blades, saving paper. All right, so let's get rid of this. This was our copy just so that you can see what it looks like. Now, we can contour. We can separate these into three different pieces. However many pieces you want to separate it into, you need that many copies. So we need three sets of this image. So duplicate. Here's our second and our third. Go to contour and hide these two. So here's my single flower, contour, hide the first one and the last one. Here's my second, and then our third. I'm going to hide the first two. I'm basically deselecting them, okay? And then there's three. So now these, when we go to cut, we can group them much closer together and not waste so much paper. Okay, same thing with the eyes. You can do that, or I still have my little square, so I can slice. Just remember to get rid of your slice results. So now when I cut, I can move these closer together. Same thing with this. All right, we're almost done. Now the only thing that's left is, let me reduce the image or my screen. Let's bring in Poppy again, just so we can see where we're slicing her, and let's make her big. Now this is the only time that I don't like doing what I did earlier, because I don't remember exactly how big she is, right? So I think this is right. So where you want to slice her in the black, probably I would slice somewhere right around here, because you know the pink is going to go on top. You won't see the seams. You'll only see the seams a little bit right around here and here. It'll be barely noticeable. I don't want to cut anywhere over here, because let's say if you cut you sliced your image right around here, it's going through this black, this black, this black, this black. You get what I'm saying? You're going to see those seams, even though they're tiny, but you're seeing the seams multiple times. So, even slicing up here will be good, because you only have two seams on the left side and on the right side. It's unavoidable unless we do this super small. So that would be my recommendation. I'm going to get rid of that, get rid of this square, and let's just bring in a new square to slice, okay? And we know we only have to slice this in half, because 8.7, the width is fine. It's just the length that's a little bit too long for us. So I would just do this, grab my two images and slice. Now, you know the only reason why I'm not doing my setup of the squares that I normally do is because I know this only needed to be cut into two pieces. Okay. All right. So these two will butt up against each other. It will be practically seamless. All right. I also want to show you, now that we go to make it, what I do with my mats. So, these two eyes are super close. It's going to be less than a 2x1. Whereas earlier, I think the eyes were more like this, right? I mean, it's not a big deal, but you're wasting some space. This makes it more usable. And you can also use scraps with that. I don't believe that we can fit these two on one. So it'll be two black sheets of paper. The green can be, oh, we didn't separate this. This is a good example. While we can send this to our Cricut to cut, it's, a 4x2 piece that we're wasting. So if we had separated this, we can bring this closer and it would have been 2x2. All right. Here's our blue. We can make this much better. And depending on, what your scraps are, maybe you have just a long strip and you want it like this, or you have a little bit of a square shape, but it's better than having it like this, which is how it would have been, right? Okay, here's our pink. Now, because I do off the mat quite a bit, I like to save my glitter cardstock, and I like to save it where it's usable next time. So while this could cut, I don't remember where this was anymore. Look at all this space that we can use, and then we could save a good 12x4 piece for next time. So this is what I would do. I would move this over, maybe this here, move the eyes over here. And so now, next time, like I said, you can have a real good chunk that's easy to use again. And you can even save this little piece over here. All right, here's our light pink. Same thing. I mean, while this is okay, this is better. Right now you're only using 8x4 and you have a lot left over for next time. All right, so this is what I did. Poppy already left. So you're gonna have to go on my Instagram, which is the Useless Crafter, no spaces in between, to see the pictures. But I used regular pink cardstock for the face and it looked perfect. I used Cricut, sort of like a magenta for the hair. It was glitter cardstock. I used blue glitter cardstock for the flowers. The green, I used a light green glitter cardstock that was not Cricut. And then the black was just regular black cardstock. And the white, I did use glitter. And it was super, super cute. I'm so bummed that I don't have it to just bring it up to the screen right now for you to see. But if you have any questions, please send me a message, comment. I'm really good at responding back on YouTube and Instagram. And hopefully this was super helpful. I know I didn't know how to do this when I was using my Cricut the first year. So anyway, see you next time. Bye.